Good morning, trading world. It is April 7, 2021, just before 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast, and this is my pre-market outlook. The theme for today is momentum, and what goes up must come down, usually, or in the case of the market, at least pause. So as we take that and think about it, or think about momentum and how it works, let's think about the market as if it were a ball being kicked up a hill. And when you kick a ball up the hill, that kick exerts force, and that force gets the ball moving relatively fast, and it will keep rolling up the hill for some time. But as momentum slows, the ball begins to slow down and go slower and slower until finally it comes to almost a stop. But that almost stop is just the point at which that momentum reverses its course. This is the same thing being signaled in the market right now of the constriction of the price range. Over the last couple of days, the price range has just gotten smaller and smaller. And you can look at it a couple different ways, but the first way is the ball and momentum analogy. And that price range being getting smaller and smaller over the last couple of days kind of signifies that possible reverse in momentum. And just like that ball, once that momentum stops and reverses, it starts going the other way. And two ways that I've always looked at when the price range constricts like this. Another thing to be aware of is that the market is like a coiled spring, and when you get those price range constricting like they are over the last couple of days, it's the same as that spring being tightly wound before it pops and jumps back open. So that's how we're going to think of momentum and what's going on today. And oddly enough, there is an event that is worth keeping your eye on. They will release the FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. today. And usually before FOMC minutes, there's usually a good amount of time buy the rumor, sell the news. And usually on the buy the rumor, sell the news, we usually have this low volume float up all the way up until the actual announcement itself. And then your real move will happen after the announcement. Well, you'll have a head fake first, and then your real move. All of those things are in play today. So I'll quickly get to today's outcomes, and we'll start with outcome number 1. All right, outcome number 1 has about a 45% probability of happening today. And actually it's bigger than that. Because of the Fed meeting, this is the likely thing that will happen before either outcome number 2 or outcome number 3 comes true. So this is going to be kind of like the motion of the morning that may be likely to happen. But with outcome number one, we hold resistance area of 407 up here, and just kind of go back and forth. We test the low support of 405, go up, test the resistance area of 407, and just kind of bounce back and forth. And it could go on up until the release of the FOMC minutes, which is at 2 p.m. before we get a definitive break higher or lower. So that could be a possibility today. It's kind of strong that we get some consolidation in anticipation of the FOMC minutes. So that is outcome number one with a 45% probability. Here we have outcome number two, which has a 25% probability of happening. And what we see here is that this resistance area of 407, we're able to break through. We get a slight pause or slight pullback from breaking through, which if does happen, this is your chance to get in with your long calls for today, and we take off. And there could be a possible target, or it opens up that pathway to 410, and we could get there today, it could be tomorrow, but it opens up that path to 410. But wherever we are late in the day, be very careful of holding positions. I would not hold positions through the night because you would get ate up. It's possible that you can get ate up today, because even if we break toward that 410 or wherever we stop up here, we could give a good bit of it back later this evening or closer toward the close of today, just because of the type of mind frame we are right now at these new highs. So be very careful of the give back, because no one's willing to hold positions through and through right now. So that be very careful of. And it probably is, if we do get up here, this will be a great time to go short on a 50 delta put. Once you see the give back starting to happen, or you see the divergence, this is going to be a great area to go short, because we should have a snapback opportunity here coming into the close of this week, the further we get outside of this market makers move on the top end. We're already basically at it at 406.97 was the move. So we violated it at one point this week already on Monday. So I could see us coming back up again, violating that move, which is going to cause a vicious snapback at some point going into Thursday or Friday. So that is the breakthrough resistance of 407 that opens that path to 4010, has a 25% probability of happening. That is outcome number two. Here we have outcome number three. And with outcome number three, we get that hold inside resistance at 407. And we come down and we break support at 405, opening up the door to a path to 404. And actually, 404 being the target today if we break this 405 support area earlier enough in the day. Keep in mind, even though this is a 35% probability of happening, keep in mind we could chop a little more or give a little more of that outcome number 1 with this scenario. So we could get a little more chop in here before breaking that 405 and coming up. And once we come up here, this is your cue to get short. If you get short in this area, this would be a good time to use a higher delta option, like a 65, 70, even 80 if you can afford it. But again, remember, it's possible to get a little more chop in here as we wait on the release of the FOMC minutes. So this is option or outcome number 3 with a 35% probability. And that is all of the different outcomes that I can see for today. As always, know your risk, and wishing everyone a profitable day and have a great one.